Hello everyone, welcome back to the Drivers Room. We're in the Endurance Championship today. This is Season 4, Round 1 of Tier 2, and we're racing at Kyoto Driving Park Yamagiwa in the Group 4s. Let's see how qualifying went today. Pole position today for the season opener, we have Stephen, starting on the Racing Super Softs, promoted from Tier 3 last season where he finished 3rd overall against some very tough opposition, most of whom have joined him in Tier 2 this season as we've had a major reshuffle. Second on the grid today we have Martin, starting on the Racing Super Softs. He's our Tier 3 reigning champion, 2 wins and 4 podium finishes last season. He took the title by 6 points in the end with a stunning win in the last round of the season. Let's see how that form continues into Season 4. In 3rd place today we have Flapjack, starting on the Racing Super Softs. Just about scraped into the final podium spot last season, had a good consistent run of results, but just needs to find that little bit extra pace. He obviously seems to have found that today, starting in 3rd. 4th place on the grid today we have Mungino, Racing Softs on the front, Super Softs on the back. Finished 4th in Tier 2 last season, best result of the season coming in the final round with a stunning win as well. So let's see if that form carries on into the season opener. 5th place on the grid today we have Spooky Lukey, starting on the Racing Super Softs, promoted from Tier 3 last season, finishing the joint 6th position, only 4 rounds raced last season though, one of which was a very convincing win at Le Mans. See how he gets on in Tier 2 this season. In 6th place today we have J Rabbit, starting on the Racing Super Softs, 5th place finish in Tier 3 for Rabbit last season, promoted into Tier 2. Another driver with only 4 rounds raced, also picking up a win in round 7. 7th on the grid today we have Bubo Lubo, Racing Softs on the front, Super Softs on the back. 4th place in Tier 3 last season, he won the 1st round and was in contention for podiums for pretty much every race of that season. Let's see if he can bring that form and pace into Season 4 in Tier 2. 8th on the grid today we have Daz, starting on the Racing Softs. He's stepping down from Tier 1 and hasn't raced on a Thursday in 5 weeks now, so let's see if he can shake that rust off today, starting from the midfield in this newly formed Tier 2. In 9th place today we have Comrade Mitsos, starting on the Racing Softs. He's another driver promoted from Tier 3 last season, showed very good pace with 2 podium finishes, just needs to find a little bit of consistency and should get some good results. In 10th place today we have Coolio, starting on the Racing Super Softs, finished joint 6th with Lukey after 4 good opening rounds last season, couldn't rediscover that form in the final 2 rounds, so let's see if he can pick it up again in this Season 4 opener. In 11th place today we have Jaggernaut, starting on the Racing Super Softs, 2nd in Tier 3 last season, very close battle with Martin all season long, just missing out on the championship by 6 points in the end. Seems to have struggled in quali today, there's a lot to do, starting from 11th. 12th on the grid today we have Jules, starting on the Racing Super Softs, finished 8th in Tier 2 last season with 4 top 5 finishes. A reasonably consistent season, but needs to find his top form again in Season 4 as there are 9 new drivers altogether from Tier 3 this season. 13th on the grid today we have JC, starting on the Racing Super Softs, finished 6th in Tier 2 last season, 4 top 5s and a podium in round 7. I think another driver opting out of T1 as he did do enough points wise for promotion. Let's see how he gets on from 13th today. 14th place today we have Kenny, starting on the Racing Softs. He's finished 9th in Tier 2 last season, 2 top 5 finishes in 7 races. Has a lot to do starting near the back today as he finds himself shuffled down the pack a little bit in the season opener. 15th place on the grid today we have Rocker, starting on the Racing Softs, joint 11th in Tier 2 last season, narrowly avoiding relegation. Rocker definitely a driver that needs to find another gear in Season 4 as the opposition are extremely tough again this year. 16th place on the grid today we have AGT Grimlock, starting on the Racing Softs, finished 10th in Tier 2 last season, steady if not spectacular results throughout the season. Did get his best result in the final round, struggled in quality today as he starts at the back. But that is our grid walk for today, full grid of 16 drivers. Let's get underway. Here we are then, about to get underway at Kyoto Driving Park. Round 1 of Tier 2 Drivers' Endurance Championship. Stephen on pole, Martin B second, Flapjack in third. As we're underway, Stephen looks like he's had a good start. Looks like Mungino's had a really good start from fourth. He's going to have the inside of turn 1, and he does slot himself up into second place at the first corner. He's got Flapjack on the outside as well, so Martin B's lost a couple of places right at the start of the race here. Slots himself into fourth place, and Mungino down to oh, looks like Flapjack's had a bit of an incident there. He put a wheel on the grass, so he's falling right back through the pack now, getting absolutely swallowed up by the field at these early stages. So you've got Jake Rabbit up to fourth, Martin B back up into third place now, Spooky Lukey, and look like Flapjack on the outside of that corner is not where you want to be. As Lukey puts a wheel on the grass, that's in mind, fishtailing there. I think most cars around him just about getting by it okay. So yeah, Flapjack falling right back to eighth place now as he battles Daz side by side through the chicane. So back up to the front of the race. Stephen's still in first place, Mungino back in second now after Flapjack falling back. Might be in third, Rabbit doing a good job up to fourth, Rabbit up into fifth, Bubo Lubo in sixth place. And look a little bit further up, Mungino takes a chunk of curb through the chicane there, runs wide on the exit. That's going to allow Martin B through, may well allow a couple more cars through as well, as he's lost quite a lot of speed there on the exit. And Rabbit up into third place now, Martin B up to second, Mungino falls down to fourth, and he's under pressure from Comrade Mitsos now. Should be safe into turn 1. So a little bit further down the pack, you've got Daz in ninth place now. As this is Canny and Jules, a little bit of contact there. Jules just understeering into Canny on the outside of turn 1, and yeah, he's off the throttle there, so he is giving that place back, but that has allowed a few cars at the back to make their way through. Canny does recover back into 15th place now. Jules dropping right to the back of the pack. As we go a little bit further up, we've got Comrade Mitsos has fallen back somewhere, as he was running a little bit higher up, as it's continuing to fall back, so he's lost a lot of speed somewhere. He's down to 8th place now. So Daz doing well, making his way back up into 7th. All kicking off on this opening lap in these Group 4s. Very, very close racing in the Group 4s. And there's a lot of new faces in Tier 2 this season. And Flapjack doing well, back up into 6th place. They had a very eventful opening 2 laps. Now finds himself battling Yaganat for 5th place. Doing enough to hold up 5th, Yaganat in 6th, Comrade Mitsos back up into 7th. Daz falls down to 8th place now, under pressure from Coolio on the exit of the final corner. Everyone scrambling for the slipstream down this main straight. Flapjack takes a little bit of a look into turn 1 and gets the move done on Yaganat there. Yaganat just holding it around the outside, but I think Flapjack's done enough here to lead these cars just about into this single file section of the track. 4 minutes into this race now, places changing hands left, right and centre, as you've got Mungino making a move on Rabbit now, as he's closed the gap right back up to 3rd place. See a little bit further up the road, Martin B right on the bumper of Stephen as well. And this is Mungino down the inside, gets a move done before the chicane there. So very tight entry, but very neat and tidy. Good move up into 3rd place again now. And we'll have a quick run through the grid as see if the race settles down a little bit now. But Stephen in 1st place has led from the start of the race, finds himself under pressure from Martin B in second. He's got Mungino back up into third place now. J Rabbit in fourth. Flapjack. Oh, is that his comrade Mitsos going wide and the exit of the chicane? So Flapjack up into fifth, but is under pressure from Yaganat. Coolio up to seventh now. Coolio up into seventh. Bubo Lubo in eighth. JC in ninth as comrade Mitsos finds himself swallowed up by this group of cars behind. JC leading the way in the Mercedes, should be decent down the straight as well. Aston Martin of Lukey in 10th place. Rocker in 11th. Comrade Mitsos slotting himself back into 12th place now. Daz back down to 13th. I think Daz has had an incident somewhere, as well as Caddy and Grimlock are going side by side through turn 1. As Caddy continues his recovery. Dropped to the back earlier on. But Grimlock not giving this place up as he slots himself back up into 14th for these fast S's. Caddy back down to 15th. Jules recovering in 16th place. Back to the lead of the race. Martin B continuing to apply the pressure. And just adjust my headset there. Stephen doing a good job in the McLaren out in front at the moment. See Mungino's pulled a bit of a gap to Rabbit in fourth place. Now running in clean air. See if Mungino can start to close up the gap to the top two. Excuse me. Rabbit in fourth place. Flapjack back in clean air now after that eventful opening 2 laps. Setting his personal best. He will be looking to get back in contention for the podium places, I would imagine. Hour-long race, only 6 minutes gone so far. Plenty of time to recover. Yaganat still in 6th, to say Flapjack seems to have opened a tiny bit of a gap. So Yaganat in the Renault, Lubo in 7th, Julio in 8th, a little bit of a gap back to JC, hasn't managed to shake this group of cars behind. Still doing enough to hold on to 9th place, but being followed by 3 cars at the moment. Comrade in 10th, Rocket in 11th, Daz in 12th, a little bit further back. Grimlock and Canny still continuing their battle as they close up into turn 1 again. Spooky Lukey down to 15th, and Jules in 16th. Back to the lead of the race. You've got Martin B as close as ever now, continuing to apply the pressure to Stephen up ahead. Oh, Stephen's picked up a 2.5 of penalty. So he's chosen to get rid of that penalty into the braking zone of the chicane there, but he's lost a massive chunk of time. Martin B takes the lead of the race on the 7-minute mark. See what he can do in clean air now. As yeah, Stephen's falling right back towards Mungino now. As these two get into a battle. Could play into Martin's hands quite nicely at these early stages of the race. Stephen still with the purple lap on lap 3. Mungino only a 10th behind that on the last lap, so definitely finding some very good pace at this stage of the race. Starting to apply the pressure on Stephen in 2nd. A little bit further down the road, you've got Flapjack starting to close the gap up to Rabbit up ahead now. He's got 2 seconds of penalty somewhere, but plenty of time to get rid of that. 4th, 5th and 6th really close together now, all in each other's slipstreams down the main straight. As Bubo Lubo pulled a little bit of a gap to Coolio behind, but just flashing back forward again. Looks like Flapjack didn't get close enough into turn 1 to make the move. Gets himself ahead and back up into 4th place now. So Flapjack continuing his recovery drive. See if he can break away, or see if J Rabbit can fight back. He's on the outside here, he's not going to be able to do much. So that front right of J Rabbit really starting to wear now in the Ferrari. See Flapjack doing a much better job on that front right in particular, but that will start to cost him as Yaganat senses an opportunity here as well, I think. Coming up to the 10-minute mark now, so some guys may opt for for 5 stops today. I think it's quite a short pit stop time here, so it doesn't cost you that much, and sometimes that extra stop can be very, very beneficial. Flapjack up to 4th, Rabbit in 5th, Jagana in 6th. So Lubo's pulled a bit of a gap to Coolio, running excuse me, running Clean Air in 7th, Coolio in 8th. That is back up into 9th place now. So this battle behind seems to have spread out a little bit, with Daz coming out on top. Who did we have? It was... Have we lost JC in the Mercedes, I think? So I don't know what's happened there. But either way, we've got J Rabbit into the pit, so yeah, he was struggling with that front right, and he rejoins in 8th place. But Daz is up to full speed and thinks about the move round the outside. Obviously J Rabbit's got fresh rubber now, should just about hold on to that 8th places. Yeah, Daz just opts to slot back in behind excuse me, 9th place. So J Rabbit, first man to pit, rejoins the race in 8th place on fresh rubber now, with Daz close behind. Sorry if I sound a little bit bunged up, I think I've got a bit of a cold coming on. But yeah, Daz in 9th now, Mitsos in 10th, Rocker in 11th. So yeah, a bit of field spread with these guys at the back now. Jules in 12th, Lukey looks like he's made a pit stop rejoins in 13th, Canny in 14th, Grimlock's made a pit stop as well, rejoins in 15th, right behind Canny. So Canny in an awkward position at the moment. We missed an overtake there. I think we have, because Mungino, I'm sure, was running in 3rd. Let's take a look back. So yeah, Mungino was running in 3rd place, just behind Stephen here, and just coming through the chicane. Really good. Looks like Stephen had a bit of a messy entrance into that chicane, and Mungino goes through cleanly up into 2nd place now. So Mungino, the man on the move at the moment. We'll check these lap times at the end of the next couple of laps, because obviously Mungino got an overtake done on that lap, so may not have been as quick as he could have been. Anyway, might be coming around the final corner on lap 7. So again, 12-minute mark. We'll put most cars on for a 4-stopper today, and the top 3 all go through. 141.8, 142.4, 142.4, as we do have a couple of guys pitting further back. So Flapjack and Yaganat both pitting. This allows Lubo up into 4th place now. Good tyre wear as well from Lubo this stage of the race, so setting himself up for a 3-stop strategy today. And Flapjack rejoins the race in 5th place, J Rabbit in 6th. So J Rabbit, having pitted a lap earlier than these guys, was behind these guys when he pitched, so he's got an undercut done on Yaganat at least. It looks like Flapjack's really come out on top there. Clean Air of 5th, and already closing the gap up to Lubo up ahead as he takes a look into this long left-hander. Lubo not really doing much there to fight that, as he is running his own strategy at the moment, not necessarily racing these guys on track at this stage of the race. So can't really afford to lose time, and does have to look after these tyres for another couple of laps to try and reach the 15-minute mark. But taking it easy through the chicane there, that has allowed J Rabbit through and up into 5th place, and Yaganat through as well just about, as he's got the inside of his hairpin coming up. Yeah, Bobo Lubo losing a couple of track positions there. It's crucially not losing too much time, as there's these cars behind us. Mitchell's running wide out of the hairpin there. Yes, these cars behind on the same strategies as Lubo at the moment are the guys he's really racing. We've got Martin B pitting from the lead now, and Mungino carries on for another lap, closely followed by Stephen. So both of these guys looking for that 15-minute mark by the looks of it. But Martin B pitting now, obviously not feeling comfortable. We've got Bubo Lubo pitting from 8th place, I think. Yeah, Martin B not feeling comfortable on the worn rubber decides to take an early pit stop. So let's see how that pans out. As I imagine Mangino and Stephen will probably pit at the end of this lap. Martin B has, yes, Stephen puts a wheel on the grass there. So Martin B is close right up to Stephen. Oh, it's a huge incident, front, left and rear damage. That car is going to be absolutely crippled for a few corners. It's only light damage, run in tier 2. But this has allowed Flapjack through and up into 3rd place. Now it's Flapjack going purple, really setting some good sector times there, as that damage still dissipating on the car, so still struggling a little bit, as this has allowed Yaganat and J Rabbit to close the gap up as well. But yeah, huge incident from Stephen there, and still yet to make a pit stop. Most of the cars around him have pitted, so he's got a lot of work to do now. Quite a bit of recovery. But this is Mangino peeling off into the pits from the lead of the race. 63% of fuel. Martin B should comfortably, just about, I don't know actually, it's going to be reasonably close. Yeah, Mangino just leaving the pits now. Try and find him on track there. So 15-minute mark, Mangino rejoins in 2nd place. A couple of seconds down the road from Martin B at the moment, but is on course for at least one pit stop less, I would imagine. So Flapjack up into 3rd place now. Racing recovery going very, very well. Yaganat in 4th place. J Rabbit in 5th. Stephen has made his pit stop now. Rejoins in 6th place. A little bit of work to do now to catch up with the guys in front again. Coolio running in clean air in 7th. Looks like Spooky, Lukey, Daz and Mitsos all running close together here. So Lukey having a little bit of contact, a little bit of nibble there from Mitsos from the rear end of Daz. But yeah, looks like Lukey has pitted earlier than these guys behind. So these guys. Is that Aston Martin fishtailing again? He's struggling to get the power down. Don't know how much that compromised Daz's exit, but he's looked like he's kept on it, and he's got himself in front as he dives to the inside of the chicane there to protect that 8th place. So Lukey's starting back into 9th now, see if Mitsos can get a move done as well. Tiny bit of tyre wear starting to kick in on the Aston Martin. And a little bit further up, we have missed, there's been a mistake from Flapjack somewhere, but he's fallen back to 4th now. Yaganat moves himself up into 3rd place. Flapjack in 4th, was running well, but he's had an issue, 1 minute 44 on that last lap. He's lost 3 seconds somewhere. Oh yeah, huge incident somewhere for Flapjack, but lost some time, and he's falling back into the fight. 3rd, 4th and 5th, as J Rabbit not that far behind either. Stephen's starting to get the pace, get the hammer down as he goes purple in sector 1. Start chasing those guys up ahead. So Daz also going purple now as he's broken away from Lukey behind. Mitsos still not managing to find a way through yet. Or has he now, as I say that? Oh, Daz running wide up ahead as well. This has allowed Mitsos through. I think Daz has just about managed to keep the speed up. But obviously watch the dirty tyres in the braking zone in this chicane. That's all neat and tidy there. Comrade up into 9th place, and a huge chunk of curb taken from Lukey there, as the Aston Martin looking very wild through that chicane. And this is allowing Rocker to close the gap up, who set his personal best on the last lap. Got slightly better tyre wear than Lukey up ahead, as he is very close to that slipstream now. Jules in 12th, Grimlock in 13th, running wide out of chicane. This will allow Lubo through, so after Lubo's long stint he's he's rejoined in 13th place. So yeah, got a lot to do there. I don't know if he's had an incident somewhere, but at the moment fighting for 14th with Grimlock. Back to the lead of the race, and might be still in the lead, sorry. Back for this fight for 3rd and 4th. This is Flapjack moving himself back up into 3rd place there, is jagging it a little bit untidy through the S's, and Flapjack back up into 3rd place. Very eventful race so far. Rabbit still running consistently in 5th at the moment. Again, that tyre wear starting to kick in. We're getting near the 20-minute mark, so good chance Rabbit will pit at the end of this lap, and Stephen is really starting to reel him in now. 1 minute 40.7 last lap for Stephen. He lost absolutely chunks of time with that incident earlier in the race, but has recovered well. Right on the tail of Rabbit at the end of lap 12. So might be crossing the line now. 1 minute 41.5. 1 minute 41.4. Very similar times for the top two at the moment. Flapjack in 3rd place, so I think that was Rabbit peeling off into the pits at 142 and 143. Stephen coming through 140.6. Stephen going purple on that last lap, absolutely on it at the moment. Pole sitter must be kicking himself after that mistake. Incredible pace today. Anyway, does find himself in contention for 3rd place again at this stage of the race, as he is closing the gap up pretty rapidly, over 3 seconds quicker. Or just under 3 seconds quicker, sorry, than Jaganat up ahead on that last lap. So J Rabbit rejoins the race in 6th place, comes out on the fresh racing softs. Coolio not that far behind in 7th, is due a pit stop soon. That's running well in 8th place now, and as we flash back to Mitsoff, he's doing donuts in the middle of the track. I don't think any other cars were involved there, and no Lukey, a heavy engine damage for Lukey there. So yeah, huge incident. Let's take a look back. So just rejoining the race a little bit further back, Comrade Mitsos closing the gap up to Daz up ahead, but has a huge incident here on the exit. Then puts a wheel on the grass, sends the car into a huge spin. Can do absolutely nothing, just about keeps it out of the barriers, but as he comes across the track, Lukey comes through, and Comrade Mitsos unghosts, but a huge shunt there. Comrade Mitsos getting front right suspension damage, Lukey getting full front end damage and engine damage, and that has allowed Rocker through up into 9th place there. So again, that is the argument we do have about the damage model on Gran Turismo. It's yeah, pretty pants to say the least. Comrade Mitsos took a full speed T-bone there and ends up with a little bit of front suspension damage. But anyway, rejoins the race in 12th place now. Lubo 13th, Grimlock in 14th. And just watching this fight now for 3rd, 4th and 5th. Stephen goes purple again on lap 14. The quickest man on track now by some margin. It's really closed the gap up to 3rd and 4th place, Flapjack and Jaganat respectively, but this is a fight for the final podium position, as it does look like 1st and 2nd are starting to disappear down the road a little bit as Stephen moves out the slipstream now on the braking zone down to this left hand, that takes the inside pretty comfortably there. I don't think Jaganat thought that too much, as he's been watching that lap, the Delta. Stephen behind the crease pretty rapidly, finds himself in 5th place now. Stephen up to 4th. See if he can get a move done on Flapjack as well as that tyre wear starting to kick in on the Ferrari again. And this is Stephen making a move for the hairpin. Flapjack did have the inside, but a bit more momentum from Stephen there as he moves himself up into third place now. So yeah, good recovery. See what he can do from third place. Just fast forwarding a little bit. Just Stephen up to third now. Flapjack and Yaganat have both made their pit stops and come out on track very close to J Rabbit behind. So these two cars carrying on their fight. Yaganat is up the inside here and up into fourth place. Looks like Flapjack had a good exit from the chicane there. There's a little bit of weaving, takes a late look on the inside of the final corner. Should be close enough at the end of this straight to make a move. J Rabbit is still very close behind as well, but Daz a little bit further back in the picture there in 7th. Yaganat going defensive into turn 1. It's a little bit, he's gone wide though, so the cutback's on. As Flapjack does have the inside. See who yields here. As they try to go side by side, they're going to compromise each other quite a bit. J Rabbit times this well, he should get a look as well. J Rabbit up into 5th place now, as they did Flapjack and Yaganat compromise each other a little bit through the S's, but Flapjack has come out on top of that and back up into 4th place. Yaganat looks to make a move on Rabbit as soon as possible as they come down to the braking zone of this chicane. Not quite close enough. Rabbit holds on to 5th place. This might allow Flapjack to just break away a little bit. Kind of needs to do at this stage of the race. So Dad's a little bit further back than 7th, running well, clean air front and back. Next man down the road is Rocker, so definitely needs to pit as well. Look at that front right tyre wear on Rocker's car. So yeah, Dad's looking in a comfortable 7th position at the moment. A little bit further back, you've got a battle for 9th, 10th and 11th. Lubo just ahead of this battle. A few cars out of sync with each other on strategies at the moment. So Lukey takes a look up the inside. Coolio fights back, holding on to that 10th place for now. This is allowing the guys behind to close up as well, as we're down to 13 runners now. Lost a few guys from the back. Lubo peeling off into the pits, and Rocker as well. Let's allow these guys to make up a few places. Got Lukey up into 8th now on the outside of turn 1. As Coolio doing enough there to defend that position. As they go single file through the S's. Lukey all over the back of him at the moment. As he pulls out of the slipstream, tries to take the inside of this left-hander. That's the job done. Up into 8th place now. A very similar tyre wear for these two cars. Coolio a lot more fuel this stage of the race as Lukey runs wide on the exit. This may well allow Coolio back through before the chicane. 30 minutes into this race, and we've still got battles all over the grid. 8th, 9th and 10th. We have the leaders pitting, Martin B and Mangino, as Stephen in 3rd place now, coming up for a pit stop, I'd imagine. So he does peel off into the pits as well. So Flapjack and Yaganat, Rabbit opts the pit as well. So Martin B does rejoin the race in 1st place, Mangino in 2nd. Flapjack up into 3rd place again now. And, so Yaganat a little bit further back in 4th. Stephen rejoins the race in 5th. Crucially in clean air though, so start to get the hammer down again, see what he can do to trouble Flapjack and Yaganat. J Rabbit running well in 6th place, done enough to be comfortable from Daz behind in 7th. Spooky Lukey ahead of this battle now for 8th, 9th and 10th. Coolio just needs to stay with this fight now, he's got a lot more fuel. And a pretty good side. Oh, is that Lukey running wide there? There's all 3 cars nearly side by side there. So Lukey just about keeping the speed up. At all positions, just about being retained into the chicane. Rocker a little bit further back in 11th as Boobo Luba comes out on the front. They're both out on fresh rubber now. So this is a fight for legitimate track position. Comrade Mitsos having a bit of a nightmare down in 13th for the moment. So on the grid walk, Mitsos has a lot of pace, just needs to iron out those mistakes. Said many times, these hour-long endurance races, consistency is absolutely crucial. Stephen just starting his first flying lap of this stint. So keep an eye on those lap times. Flapjack and Yaganat, no slouches in the 1:41s pretty comfortably. When Stephen's out in clean air on the fresh rubber, he has an incredible amount of pace. J Rabbit, similar strategy to Stephen at the moment, just a couple of seconds down the road from him at the moment. That's still running well. 7th, Lukey in 8th now, got a bit of a gap to Coolio in 9th, looks like Jules has pitted. Rocker in 10th, Lubo in 11th, Jules has rejoined in 12th ahead of Comrade Mitsos. Just skipping forward to the end of lap 21 now. Flapjack running well in 3rd place, choosing to dive into the pits at the 36-minute mark. Yaganat doing the same, and we'll see if Stephen has done enough. So 1:42.3, so he hasn't had the quickest of laps on his first flyer. See if he's done enough to displace Flapjack and Yaganat as they come out the pits now, and he does move himself up into 3rd place. Pretty comfortably in the end. Yaganat rejoins in 4th. Rabbit moves himself up into 5th place. Flapjack rejoins in 6th. Now taking on a bit more fuel than those around him at that pit stop, but Flapjack finds himself at the back of the battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Just 36 minutes into this race. These cars all starting to close up again now. As not that far behind this group either now, as setting 1:41.1 on that last lap, really starting to dial the car in now. As Flapjack taking a look at J Rabbit already into the chicane. Can't find a way past just yet. And J Rabbit, tyre wear has really cost him this race. So, just about avoids touching the grass there. That would have been pretty bad, but does lose a place, but stays with the pack for now. Flapjack up to 5th place. And a little bit further up the road, Yaganat is putting Stephen under quite a bit of pressure. So Stephen not managing to find that pace when he needs it. So crosses the line, see what sort of lap time he does here. Yeah, 1:41.7. Very quick time, but he does have a lot more in the bag. I'm wondering if that's the fuel level of that McLaren's just bogging it down a little bit. See the pace pick up. Be very, very quick on that final stint, that's for sure. Flapjack still ahead of Rabbit, 5th and 6th. That's still 7th. Lubo in 8th now, Rocker in 9th, closely followed by Lukey. Jules in 11th, Coolio 12th, and Comrade Mitsos in 13th. As we look for, there we go. Virtually no tyre wear at the moment. The Yaganat, as he's just finishing his first flying lap on this stint. A little bit of tyre wear kicking in as he looks on the inside there and does move himself up into 3rd place. Stephen sort of yielding that position there as the tyre wear starting to kick in. He's struggling to maintain the pace. You see if Flapjack can start closing the gap up to it, but always wide out of the chicane. Keeps it pointing forward. So yeah, see if Flapjack can start to close the gap up behind. Back to this fight for 8th and 9th with Lukey all over the back of Lubo at the moment. Very light car and fresh tyres as well, so very quick at this stage of the race. Really needs to get past these on a better compounder tyre as well. See what that Aston Martin can do down the straights. I don't think he's close enough into turn 1. Yeah, not quite close enough. Lubo's good on the brakes. Just hugs the inside curb nicely. His car very well there, retains 8th position. Coolio battling for 11th and 12th. And we just missed Stephen moving himself back up in 3rd place. So Yaganat not managing to pull a gap. Stephen kept the pressure on and takes back 3rd place, and this is allowing Flapjack to close the gap up behind now. Yaganat's not going to find a way past there. Does compromise his entry a little bit. And, does enough to hold on to 4th place for now. 20 minutes of the race left to go. And the battle for the final podium spot looks to be going down to the wire. Apologies to the top 2 guys, Martin B, it's out in clean air, and Mungino behind in 2nd place. Both of these guys setting very similar lap times. Martin B doing enough to maintain the lead of the race. Mungino just not able to close the gap up and apply some pressure. Similar tyre wear at the moment. I think both of these guys due for one more stop. These 3 guys always they continue their battle, and we've got Flapjack up into 4th place now, so we've missed that as these 3 are battling, but this might be Flapjack up into 3rd. Not quite close enough. Stephen just protecting the inside, the braking zone there, throws it around the chicane, has a bit of a tank slapper, and all 3 of these cars continue their battle, and we've got Yaganat up into 3rd place now. As Stephen's ditching his penalty there, just drops to the back of this fight for the moment. Yaganat up into 3rd place, Flapjack in 4th, and Stephen in 5th place now. As I say, I think these 3 cars will ideally be looking for one more stop. So Yaganat and Flapjack in a good position for tyre wear. Flapjack looking good on fuel at this stage of the race as well. Stephen a little bit more work to do to keep the tyres fresh until the end, but yeah, could definitely do with staying out for one more stop. And that's happened to 6th place now, so J Rabbit's made his pit stop, rejoins in 7th, and Daz up into 6th place. Consistent 1 minute 41s from Daz, running a very, very quiet race all by himself, but he's slowly reeling in these cars in front. He's got to look after that front right a little bit for the last stage of this race, and yeah, see how he gets on. But J Rabbit pitting early again. I reckon he may well have to pit again. I don't think he's going to make the super softs last 17-18 minutes. He's been doing 10-minute stints up until now. As Lukey going critical on fuel. He's up into 8th place now. Both these guys coming up to their final stop of the race. He's got Rocker in 10th place ahead of Coolio now. Coolio might have to stop again. Jules definitely will have to stop again. Mitsos will have to stop for tyres. Might be carrying on for another lap, taking comfortably to the 45-minute mark, same as Mungino behind, and yeah, both on course for a pit stop at the end of lap 27 for those guys. These guys come to the end of lap 26 now. Yaganat's still in the lead of this battle as he's trying to break the toe down the main straight. Stephen just about staying in touch now, stretching that tyre wear out as best he can. Daz also staying out for another lap. 1 minute 44 on that last lap though, so he has lost a little bit of time to the guys in front. J Rabbit behind as well, out on a fresh rubber, 1 minute 41, so losing 3 seconds to Rabbit behind. I do think Rabbit will have to stop again. So Daz looking good for 6th place at the moment, as Lukey and Rocker are in the pits now. Coolio comes through up into 9th place, but I think he will have to stop again as well. Lukey rejoins the race in 10th place. Good until the end now. Rocker in 11th. Jules in 12th, and Mitsos in the pits. Really good job on the opening race of season 4 from Martin B so far. Freshly promoted into tier 2 off the back of winning tier 3, which was no mean feat. So very, very high end of high calibre of drivers in tier 3 last season, with a lot of new faces joining in. Mungino carrying on for another lap, gets a taste of first position for the first time in this race. Does lead everyone on to lap 28 now, so Martin comfortably rejoins the race in 2nd place, as Stephen, the first guy to pit in this battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th, with Daz pitting as well. So J Rabbit, has J Rabbit done enough? I think he has done enough to overtake Daz at this stage of the race. Daz's got to take a fair bit of fuel on. Just coming up pits now, but yeah, Lugo has to pit behind, so Daz out in a comfortable 7th position to the end of the race now, with J Rabbit up ahead, with a lot to do to get that car to the end without pitting. So I do think he will have to. I do think he will have to pit again, because that doesn't sound right. Anyway, Mungino out in the lead of the race. This battle for 3rd and 4th carries on with Yaganat and Flapjack. Yaganat critical for fuel, so Flapjack's going to have a good 2-3 second advantage at the pit stop. It all depends what Stephen does on his out lap. I think both these guys, well, Yaganat definitely has to pit, and Flapjack tyre wear not looking great at the moment, so they may as well respond to Stephen pitting behind. But this is Mungino in the pits from the lead of the race, but Martin B coming through now. Retake 1st place. Mungino got to take a fair bit of fuel on. does rejoin in a comfortable second, but we do have Yaganat pitting, and Flapjack carries on for another lap. Very interesting, and he will be very, very quick for the last stint. But 1:41.8 from Flapjack. Still good pace this stage of the race. Stephen just completing his first out lap, and looks like he's done more than enough to get the job done on Yaganat, who drops back to 5th place now. J Rabbit not quite close enough to trouble Yaganat for 5th. So he's just got to maintain his speed as he's got Daz behind to contend with. Just over 10 minutes of this race to go now. So just skipping forward a little bit. You've got Flapjack pitting from 3rd place. And Stephen has done enough as he goes purple again on that lap. So Stephen finding the pace when it does count. Going purple on his first flying lap of his final stint, and comfortably moving himself up into 3rd place. He's got a good couple of seconds cushion to Flapjack now. Just needs to maintain that pace, but a little bit further back we've had J Rabbit pit, and Daz has done enough to get himself back up into 6th place. See if J Rabbit can close the gap up in the final 10 minutes. Spooky Lukey running 8th, Lubo in 9th, Coolio in 10th, Rocker in 11th, Jules in 12th, and Mitsos in 13th, because it looks like Jules was going to take a little bit of a look on Rocker into turn 1. Just under 10 minutes own, Jules critical on fuel here. Does look like he will have to stop again. If Comrade Mitsos can keep his head down, might well be in a position to make a place up towards the end of the race. So skip forward again now, just to get this race in under the hour mark, as Share Factory is pretty pants like that. Might be crossing the line now, 10 seconds of this hour-long race to go. Comfortable 1st position, still in the 1:41s as Mangino crossing the line now to complete another lap as well. Stephen, really good job in 3rd place. Flapjack has really closed that gap up towards the end of the race, but Stephen doing just enough there. Hold on to 3rd place. Huge incident in the mid part of the race. Recovered well, takes the final podium spot. Flapjack in 4th place. Good result for Flapjack in the opening race of the season, just missing out on the podium. Yaganat brings it home in 5th place, and Daz doing enough to hold on to 6th place in the end. Good race from Daz, finishing 6th. J Rabbit close behind, just not been able to do enough towards the end of the race, and finishes 7th. Bubo Lubo bringing it home in 8th place. Very offset with the strategies today, but has kept it consistent. Personal best of a 1:40.5 on lap 30 there. Did have some good pace. It brings home in 8th place. Spooky Lukey bringing it home in 9th. Coolio rounding out the top 10. Rocker a little bit further back, just doing enough to hold off Mitsos until the end there. Bring home in 11th. Mitsos in 12th, but race winner here, Martin B. Absolutely dominant today. It's a shame Stephen did have the incident that he did. Otherwise, probably the only man that could have troubled Martin B today. But yeah, once out in the lead of the race, very difficult man to catch. Kept very consistent today. Absolutely mistake free, and brings home the race win. Congratulations. And 2nd place, final man across the line, take checker flag, Mangino. Congratulations. But that was round 1. We'll see you next week.